Thank my good friend for yielding, and thank you to him for his leadership and my colleague on the other side of the aisle. You know, Mr. Speaker, it all started in September of 1997, 27 years ago, when Brick Township, New Jersey parents Bobby and Billy Gallagher and their indomitable commitment to help their two children, Austin and Alana, and everyone else with autism. We met several times and continue to plan and strategize to this day. We invited the CDC to Brick, New Jersey, only to realize that the federal autism programs were woefully inadequate. Frankly, they were non-existent. They spent $287,000 per year on autism. That's it. Straight line for 5 years. It was a nothing burger, and they did nothing really of substance. So I introduced the Autism Statistics, Surveillance Research, and Epidemiology Act, the ASSURE Act, in 1998 and again in 1999. The second one, we had 199, almost half of the House of Representatives as co-sponsors. That would have established 3 to 5 autism centers of excellence, authorized serious prevalence studies, and established an autism advisory committee, which we now call IAC. I am deeply grateful that the ASSURE Act was incorporated in large part by Chairman Mike Bilirakis as Title I of the Children's Health Act of 2000. Mr. Speaker, in 2016, Bobby Gallagher, now a board-certified behavior analyst, wrote an amazing book called The Brick Wall: How a Boy with No Words Spoke to the World. She points out, and it's just an amazing book, that all parents of children with autism face many, many hardships, frequent tears, agony, as well as physical, emotional, and spiritual exhaustion. Doctors had told the Gallaghers not to worry about telltale early warning signs of autism. One doctor was so uninformed, he said that their daughter, Alana, just needed a good, swift kick in the ass. She recounts, however, the big moments that she treasures deep within her heart, like when 11-year-old Austin called her mommy for the first time. It was slow and deliberate, mommy, and she said it was beautiful. Or when he asked for a cookie, they celebrated in the Gallagher household. She writes, it's a primer for everyone, and I would hope that others would read it. She said in the book, she realized why she is on this earth. I am here to fight for children with autism, close, quote unquote, and fight she and her husband Billy has, like so many others, brave and remarkable parents who deeply love their children, like Scott Badish, who's on my staff. Scott was the president of Autism Society for 10 years. Deeply, he and his wife love their son, Evan. They love their whole family. He's 37, and they have benefited from his leadership. We have benefited here in the Congress from Scott's leadership. I also, Mr. Speaker, the Autism Collaboration, Accountability, Research, and Education and Support Act, or simply Autism CARES Act of 2024, is a comprehensive reauthorization and strengthening of America's whole-of-government autism spectrum disorder initiative. As the prime author of the Autism CARES Act of 2024 and previous iterations of the law in 2011, 2014, and again in 2019, let me extend special thanks to co-sponsor Henry Cuellar for his leadership and partnership, to Brett Guthrie, chairman of the Health Committee and incoming full committee chairman, for faithfully shepherding this legislation through the committee. I want to thank my fellow New Jerseyan, Frank Pallone, and above all, I want to thank and show the deepest respect and gratitude to Kathy McMorris Rogers, a tenacious, effective, and brilliant advocate for the autism community. Thank you to Steve Scalise for making sure we're here today with the bill. And I also want to thank Susan Collins and Ben Ray Lujan for their important work over on the Senate side. Molly Brimmer, Kristen Fritsch, and Caitlin Wilson, among others, for their help, which was totally invaluable, and John McDonough and Mary Noonan, and of course Scott on my staff for their work on this bill. The bill, as we know, provides, as has already been mentioned by my colleagues, critical research goals, focuses on responsive and effective interventions for the estimated 6.8 million individuals with autism, 27% of whom, or that's 1.8 million, are profoundly autistic. According to the CDC, 1 in 36 children in the U.S., including 1 in 35 in my home state of New Jersey, are on the autism spectrum. The bill authorizes more than $1.59 billion over 5 years for programs at the NIH, CDC, and HRSA, Health Resources and Services Administration. It directs the NIH to include the scope of research, including those encountered by individuals and caregivers.
Expired.
I add an additional 1 minute to the gentleman.
The gentleman
I thank my good friend for yielding, and I'll be very brief and close, put the rest of it in the record. Autism Speaks says the Autism CARES Act is the single most important driver of autism research, training, and data collection programs at NIH, HRSA, and CDC. Autism Society, we're joined by Chris Banks, who's here. He's the CEO of Autism Society. They say it's a pivotal law for individuals with autism and their families to live fully. It is crucial to understand the immense impact this law has on the daily lives of the autism community. The Autism Association of University of Centers, they also are very, very supportive. And Profound Autism has pushed hard for this bill and its enhanced focus on individuals with profound autism, which they define as people who require lifetime 24/7 care. I urge my colleagues to support it, and the President, we hope, will sign it.